in it. currently neither Johnny and I actually have a vehicle. Previously, Johnny used to have a van that he used for work, and we would also run private, obviously, personal chores in that, even though it was his work van, to get groceries and things, meaning we would do these little runs to get groceries for fresh stuff, but we would do one kind of big staple shop every couple of weeks. However, that doesn't happen now because basically his van was broken, and then when he got rid of it, because he couldn't be bothered with the upkeep of fixing quite an older van, we thought we would invest any money from that into our van that's for van life, but we haven't been able to find one. So in the meantime, we sort of have to go grocery shopping every other day, which is why in quite a few of these vlogs I'm going to take you guys along with me, unless I've been doing so much in the home that I don't need that bit of the footage. But today I am going to another local shop to get Zala her dog treats because she's run out. So let's go. So I'm not just getting dog treats, there are a couple of other things I need to get, but that's the main reason that I come in here, because for dog food and treats it's quite cheap, but it is always absolute chaos. But I think that the store B&M is actually a bit similar to a Marshall's in the USA, so see what you think, see whether you agree. It basically sells a little bit of everything: food, sweets, dog treats, a little bit of everything. We're on the dog treat aisle, which thankfully is a little bit quieter. They have a lot of like natural dog food things or dog treats, you know, additives, which is what I like. These are Zala's favourite: protein popcorn made with real chicken and no rawhide. So we'll get her a couple of them. They also have a little bit of homeware in here, which is very affordable. It's probably the only place, as well as TK Maxx, where you can buy anything for the house in the town centre. Right guys, I'm going to go pay for all these treats, but then I have a few other stores to call at, such as our equivalent of a dollar store, and then I'm going to go to Marks and Spencer's to look for some organic maple syrup and honey. I'm taking all the back snickets to the next shop because this time of year is just absolute chaos in our town, because obviously it is a seaside town, so I'm doing everything I can to avoid everyone. We do have a Waterstones, that's probably one of the better shops in our town. It also does allow dogs inside, which is always a bonus, but actually, if I think about it, quite a few of the stores do allow dogs inside. At the last store, I just had a kid behind me in the queue. I was in the queue for about 15 minutes, literally singing the advertising marketing campaign to washing machines live longer with Calgon, and he just kept saying that whole line, that same line, over and over again for 15 minutes. So that was very enjoyable, if not overstimulating. So now let's see if we can go in here without too much chaos, which is an equivalent of a dollar store. And I'm coming to get some kind of bandage for this scratch so it doesn't get infected, which Zala did. I think I'm going to go for this cotton one, as the stretchy ones seem to irritate me. So it's also very, very busy in here. I'm just picking the aisle with the least amount of people on. And this is exactly why I normally run errands first thing in the morning as soon as the shop's open, so there's the least amount of people possible. Anyway, I've got what I came for. Now it's Marks and Spencer's. I nearly forgot, guys, that the other errand I have to run is I have to go into Lloyd's Bank and pay in some money. I'm not sure if I'm allowed to film there. I'm just paying in this money that I got from selling something, but we have still got the Queen on all of our notes just about, and we're all wondering when they're going to change. So if you've not all been to England before, or perhaps anywhere in the UK, here is your first trip into Marks and Spencer's, which sells a little bit of everything. It is famous for its very good quality food, but it also has quite sustainable clothing, as is usually marked on all the jeans. Usually things like sustainable cotton, they mark on the jeans. But I'll take you through to the food hall. So we are going for milk, honey, maple syrup, bread. I have my mental shopping list, and that is what stops me going off it and spending too much money in general. So let's go to the milk, which by now I know the layout like the back of my hand, because the milk is just around here, and apparently it is responsibly sourced, as you can see, and so is just about everything in Marks and Spencer's. So I actually thought that some of you might be interested to know the price of a few things in our shops here. If you don't know, an average sort of 4 pint of milk is £1.60, which is about $2. The cucumbers at the moment are about £1, so that's about $1.40 in dollars. And look at our eggs. That's how much it is for free range eggs, and they are RSPCA, which means that they are approved by animal welfare authorities to make sure that the hens and things don't have to overlay, and they're free range and kept in the field, not in cages. And I think in general it means that they produce a lot nicer eggs, and no doubt healthier for us. Same goes for the honey. And the maple syrup is obviously from Canada. It is the best. We're looking at this cheaper one, but we don't know why this one is so much cheaper. Is it just because it is less? 310 grams? No, that's still £5, so we might as well go for the glass bottle and not the plastic. So I feel like I've tried both of these, and in the end I couldn't tell the difference between that one and that one, but I think this one was slightly better, which is why it is £6, which is about $8. So the only other thing that I actually need today is laundry detergent, and Marks and Spencer's yet again do ethically sourced, sustainably sourced, and also, hold on, we need to move up a bit, also recycled packaging, and even free from sort of nasties, cruelty free, vegan, and clean, as in no really bad chemicals inside it. And it is plant-based, biodegradable ingredients, and that's why I trust Marks and Spencer's for just about everything. And guess what, guys? They're a Yorkshire company, but they are now all over the UK, and we even saw a Marks and Spencer's in Valletta, and they've even got one on Crete, although that is just a clothing one. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, there is always one last thing to do when you come to Marks and Spencer's, and that is to check the sandwich and sushi box, or fridge I should say, for reductions, because they're normally about £6 or £7, so about $8, but at a certain time of day they get reduced to about £2, and I think that is what is just happening right now. So let's get in there and have a little look. Got my milk, and it's the only thing that won't fit in my bag, and we are heading home.